This looks like a good one from Edgewood.
Boogie into a book?
Ooh, that's a thriller. Does that mean that you like it?
Yes, ma'am. That's the one you should use, Daddy.
Yes, Jimmy, that's a cat's pajamas.
That's it, then. Boogie into a book.
We switch you now live to New York with Jane Curtin and Roseanne.
Before I check out what Boulder is doing with Write the Read Week, I want to read a letter I got from a man in Jacksonville, Ohio. To Roseanne or Rosanna Dana. What's all this fuss about Write the Read Week? Anyway, whose idea is it? Why can't people just talk? Who needs to read as long as we got TV and radio? And who needs to write too? I don't write, none too good, and who cares? Who needs to read food letters at the supermarket or job application forms or a car owner's manual or instructions to put together a bike? Who needs reading anyway? I sure don't. Signed, I am illiterate. Mr. Illiterate, you sure ask a lot of questions for a guy from Jacksonville. But you know, Rosanna Dana, once knew a kid in grad school whose nose would always start to run whenever he got up to read aloud. After each sentence, he would have to give a real loud snort to keep the stuff from running teacher would never give that kid a Kleenex. She was an old lady who had a big bunch of skin hanging down from her arms. And when she would write on the blackboard, that skin would flap back and forth, back and forth. What's the matter, Jane? What on earth does flapping skin have to do with Right to Read Week? Well, Jen, it's like my daddy used to say when he tucked me in at night. He'd say, learn how to read, my little Rosanna, or Rosanna Dana, and then when you get older and you get a cold and the doctor gives you medicine, you can read the labels on the bottle and you'll get better, and then you won't have that stuff running onto your upper lip. The skin! What about the skin? How do you tie in the skin with Right to Read Week? What skin?
The loose, hanging, sagging skin that goes back and forth, back and...
Jen,
Yes?
you gross me out.
If you're not good, Howie, I won't let you go to Animal House.
Oh, please, Mama.
We switch you now to Golden, Colorado, where a certain organ is making a report to his reader.
Mort calling Orson. Mort calling Orson. Come in, Orson.
What do you have to report this week, Mort?
All your amendments I've discovered here on Earth, Earthlings read a great deal.
Oh, yes, something Morgans used to do hundreds of years ago before they discovered sighted reading in which no books are needed.
Earthlings still read a great deal, your pudginess.
Look in, Mort.
Sorry, your immenseness. Just this week, I was with Earthlings here on Earth with a group called Freshmen. I took a bite of one and he didn't feel fresh at all. Then I met this freshman who wasn't a man at all, who was a girl, and she was reading.
What was he reading, Mort?
A play called Romeo and Juliet.
What is this Romeo and Juliet?
It's a play that supposedly is the most beautiful love story ever written.
What happened?
Well, this gang of teeny boppers form a gang, and then one of the gang members falls in love with another leader.
Then what happened?
Heavy sigh. They die.
Quite morbid, but then Earthlings always baffled me.
Taste. You mean you took a taste of one of those freshmen? Or,
I should take it off, Mort.
humor. Taste. Port? Or,
Mort,
yes, your Cyclops.
see if you can discover more about this reading business.
This is Mark signing off. Nanu. I think I'll go read this book.
Mort, what are you doing?
Read. What a bummer.
No wonder you can't understand it. You're supposed to read it with your eyes, not your ears.
How can I hear the words?
Look look at it this way. Your mind will create the pictures and the sounds.
But how will I hear the words with my eyes?
Your mind will do it. You just read it with your eyes.
Chess Bob. I've always wanted a movie in my mind. Art.
We take you now to Korea and the match 4077 unit.
I've been reading here in the Woodsdale Journal that it's national right to
Woodsdale? Is that near Tokyo?
No, it's near the Woodsdale Mall.
Oh, to be mauled.
What is the new waistline?
Oh, she sighed, closing her eyes. If only Brad Turnon would recognize I'm a woman. If only Brad Turnon would sweep me into his arms and make me his own. And then, suddenly, abruptly, at that very moment, without the slightest warning, and who's got page 31?
I do. Brad Turnon burst into the room, his left hand still clasping the door, his right hand brushing a lock of thick blonde hair from his forehead. His dark eyes flashed, piercing Angela to the very core of her heart. She shivered. You know why I'm here, said Brad.
Angela stood speechless, vulnerable and weak. She shivered again.
Brad repeated, you know why I'm here.
Yes, she acknowledged, trembling.
You're lovely when you're vulnerable, said Brad. And moved quickly to her, passion and love welling in his breast.
Angela shivered and quivered. It's ours there!
Who's got the other page?
Hey, look what I found under the tree!
Enfolded in Brad's strong arms, held by his sensual hands, crushed against his hairy, manly, macho chest. Oh, jeepers, I don't think I can read anymore.
Crushed against his hairy, manly, macho chest. Angela knew that nothing else in the whole wide world mattered except this man. No, not this man. Her man. No, not her man. Her love. She shivered vulnerably.
Brad took Angela firmly by the arm and gazed ever deeply into her eyes. Ever so slightly. You don't know how long I've waited for this moment, said Brad.
Angela's knees went weak. Her pulse soared. And then Brad took hold of the towel which wrapped her vulnerable body.
It is there! It is there! Who's got the other page? I've got Charles my outfit here.
That's not important. We need to find the last page.
Perhaps it's over here. Oh my God! Read it! The towel's soft to Brad's touch. Where did you buy this, he asked. She answered breathlessly, Rinks, Brad, Rinks. Brad nodded. Angela shivered. Again, he pulled her close to him. Darling, I want to share a unique experience with you. Oh my God. Yes, Brad. Yes, cried Angela. Brad spoke from the deepest part of his heart. Together, Angela, I want you and me to... Tell me, Brad, tell me. Angela shivered. Brad was about to speak the words which will fulfill all her dreams. And then from the... Oh, God. And then those very words tumbled forth from his lips. I want us to...
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
most unusual family we could and see what they're doing for White to Weed Week. We think we found them. Let's go now to the home of the Coneheads, Fred and Joyce, and their
Today in school, we began spring earthly activity, Right to Read Week.
What is objective about
Pleasurable digestion of printed matter. Digestion? Better than Tupperware? No way to compute. Reading begins tomorrow.
What are these? Rectangular prisms?
And what Earth teacher designates them books?
The Odyssey, vile smell, less sample.
Untested consumable may contain agent of death. To kill a mockingbird. Olfactory sensor registered positive. Right to Read Week, good idea. Perhaps you consume too quickly. Some things must be slowly digested. Here's parental unit.
This is Harry Ridgner on location at the Delta House with Dean Warmer's private secretary. Now let's go into the house.
I have been sent to Dean Warmer's office to inform all of you members of the Delta House that since you are on double probation, you must do something outstandingly significant to implement and promote Right to Read Week. Huh? Right to read, big illiterate. Absolutely every one of you must participate, or you will remain on double probation.
You know, this might be a chance for us to get off double probation.
Yeah.
This might be a chance for us to gain some prestige.
Yeah.
This might be a chance to save our butt.
Gentlemen, this is a live broadcast.
What can we do? Hey, maybe we could make some posters. Sports Illustrated. That's a big thing.
What do you got there, Bruno? Playboys!
Those are the emblem of the sorority house next door. And it can't be done, you can't be done.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the grand finale of Big Event 2.
stop to eat her supper? No, not even once a month, because she boogied into her book. She reads something every day from September into May. Yes, she boogied into her book. Music and passion cannot be her passion, but she boogied between the lines. His name's Alfredo. He speaks in Spanish. He also knows some English words, but his French is much, much worse. He can merengue and do the cha-cha. But when he sees a disco dance, he goes right into a trance. So he goes out to look to find a dancing book. And when he finds it, he sits and reads it. Now this disco really works because he boogied into his book. He bought a dance book yesterday. Now his disco day or day because he boogied into his book. Music and dancing are really his passion, 'cause he boogied between the lines. Her name is Lulu. She is a bookworm. Cat eye glasses on her ears and her books stacked up to here. She would read comics and Solzhenitsyn. She would read all the books she could, whether bad or very good. She read every night. Did she stop to eat her supper? No, not even once a month, because she boogied into her book. She reads something every day from September into May. Yes, she boogied into her book. Music and passion cannot be her passion. His name's Alfredo. He speaks in Spanish. He also knows some English words, but his French is much, much worse. He can merengue and do the disco really works because he boogied into his book. He was a handsome yesterday. Now his disco day or day because he boogied into his book. Music and dancing are really his passion, 'cause he boogied between the lines.
The Big Event 2, ladies and gentlemen, much to the dismay of the Edgewood faculty, was initiated by the Edgewood Communication Department. Scripts were written by Phyllis Newman, Tom Romano, Linda Evans, Jack Elgin, and Bob Uritis. Camera work was done by Darren Sloniker, Caroline Lakes, and David Hurst. The soundboard was controlled by Mick Napier. The Communication Department would like to thank those who participated wholeheartedly and those who participated to make the Big Event 2 a smashing success. The Big Event 3 is scheduled for, I can barely make this out, that day when hell freezes. That cannot be right. More about the Big Event 3 at a later date.